Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 301 of your favourite Formula 1 show. Yes, knowing we are returns, we're back this weekend, not for the Spanish Grand Prix. No, this year it's got an all new name. We are here for the Barcelona Catalunya Grand Prix. It's a bit of a weird one. I personally think Spain and Madrid would have worked a little bit better, but I understand, they want to try and get rid of old names, old circuits, everything like that. Speaking of trying to get rid of old things, I'm joined as always by Jamie183. How are we doing, sir?
I was waiting for that introduction. I got very confused, the viewers might have spotted on camera, when you said, we're not here for the Spanish Grand Prix. I was like, have I just been pranked? Are we going to talk about something else today?
Yeah.
And then I remembered, we're going to talk about the Barcelona Grand Prix instead. But obviously, as we all know, Madrid won't happen this year, so... It
will.
This could be the only Spanish Grand Prix we have.
Well, it's not even a Spanish... We might have no Spanish Grand Prix this year, yet still a race in Spain. That'd be quite a good oddity, wouldn't it?
I guess so. It is a bit... I don't want to get too complainy straight away, but why not? Let's get straight into it. I feel about 5 or 6... No. When did Alonso first retire? 8 years ago? In 2018?
End of 2018.
There was so much talk about them binning off racing at Catalunya because...
Yes.
It's a test track, basically.
Yes.
And now we've got 2 Spanish Grand Prix.
Yeah, but they're not both at Barcelona.
I know, but it was not only because it's a test track, it was also because interest in F1 in Spain was going down. But because Alonso then came back and Sainz drove a top team for a bit, we're lumped with 2 of them. And Madrid doesn't look particularly inspiring either, so it is a bit annoying. But yeah, Barcelona's going to alternate years, isn't it, in a few years? So
I believe so quite soon, yeah. It's going to be on rotation with Belgium, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah. And
it's difficult to keep tabs of what races are happening where anymore.
It really is. Have you been to Barcelona, like the track at Barcelona before?
I've driven past it. I've seen it, but I've never actually been to it.
Fair. Neither have I. So I don't know where I was going with that, but there you go.
Fair enough, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Because it was almost a perfect storm. Because when Alonso retired, it was very much Spain will have kind of 2019, wasn't it? And then the rumour was it was on the chopping block. Obviously, Sainz then had a pretty good year with McLaren. COVID then hit, and it was kind of obviously Barcelona, because obviously they'd done all the testing there for so many years and everything like that. It was a pretty easy track to kind of keep in the mix. Obviously, still get a race there in 2020, whether it was contracted or not. And then, obviously, Sainz was then moving to Ferrari. Alonso was coming back. And he was like, to be fair, the last couple of years, it feels like attendance for Barcelona has been pretty good. I think the biggest issue with it nowadays, of course, is the fact that the race is literally in the middle of June. That is warm in the heat in Spain.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't mind races that kind of push drivers and cars to their limit, to be honest. So hopefully it's a good one this weekend, but we shall see. I never get my hopes up that high for Spain in Barcelona, to be honest. But yeah, at least the World Cup's on. That'll be entertaining. So even if the F1 isn't...
I'm sure Jamie's going to be talking about the World Cup in most episodes, and I really do not care that much, so that'll be fun for everybody.
I'm sure it will.
I mean, the big thing, again, obviously going back to Spain, is, as I've got more into MotoGP this year, you kind of realise how much Spain is just obsessed with motorbikes. It's kind of wild.
Well, they've got a lot more... I guess if you think about successful Spanish F1 drivers, you've only really got Alonso, and to some extent Sainz, but obviously
those are literally the only 2 Spanish Grand Prix winners, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm not sure many other Spaniards have even scored points, to be honest. Obviously, De La Rosa, Alguersuari... There's not many more than that, to be honest. But,
no, because they all just ride motorbikes instead.
Well, exactly. In MotoGP, you got so many riders. I can name some of them. I know nothing about MotoGP. I'm pretty certain
last weekend at Mugello, 6 of the riders are from just the Catalan region. A quarter of the grid is from one region of Spain, which is kind of nuts. From
my limited knowledge of bikes and, I guess, cycling, enjoy the same genre of road as a motorbike rider would. There's a lot of good stuff to cycle in Catalan region.
Well, this was my question. Surely they must have very few potholes. Like, you can't really become a MotoGP rider riding around here, otherwise you get killed by about the age of 18 when you hit a pothole and just then hit a tree. Which is a sad reality.
Yeah. I think this, from what... I mean, I've not been to Spain a ton, but the roads seem alright, I think.
Is this going to be like your have you been to Monaco recently?
Possibly. I've not been. I think the last time I went to Spain was with you, actually, Matt. That's a harrowing.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, that's quite good going, isn't it? Well, actually, the roads there weren't that good.
No, they weren't. They weren't. Our taxi driver at 3 a.m. was pacing it as well.
Yeah, I didn't have to deal with that. Luckily,
you were in bed at that point.
I was in bed by that point.
We're not getting to that.
Good times. We did a podcast not long after that there. I'm sure we've told this story before on the podcast, but Jamie's brought it up now. This is very much a tangent. But we filmed a podcast there, and the cleaner that walked in when we were halfway through, I'm 99% certain thought we were filming a gay porno.
Literally, we both sat on a bed, like cross-legged. Like,
with
what
a camera.
Is going on
He
here?
was definitely. They clearly thought one thing was happening that definitely wasn't.
It wasn't.
Right, let's get back to
men
Barcelona.
Recording a Formula One podcast.
Exactly. Yeah. Little did she know. She should have just walked in and gone MotoGP better or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Would have been a great time. Anyway, Jamie, Barcelona. Well, actually, no. We're not even going to talk about Barcelona at the moment. We're going to talk about Monaco. Because there's still a bit of overlap from the Monaco Grand Prix last weekend. Of course, basically, between now and the summer break, it's 2 races in a row, 1 weekend off, 2 races in a row, 1 weekend off. So as you still kind of get that trickle of news throughout the week from Monte Carlo, it feels like it's kind of a half Monaco post show with a half Spain pre-show. Big one, though. Formula One have opened Pandora's box. And I don't know why.
Yeah. I understand kind of why, because I read a little bit this morning on it. But basically, obviously, Gasly finishes third in Monaco with a plus 10-second penalty from 2 speeding into pit lane issues that he had. Obviously, 7 drivers got speeding into pit lane penalties. Some of them had more impact than others. Obviously, like Lewis Hamilton still finished second, didn't make a difference to him. But George Russell was probably going to finish third or fourth, failed to serve the penalty correctly, and then got another penalty and ended up finishing 12th. So it affected him quite a lot. It turns out Alpine have presented new evidence that FIA and the stewards were measuring the speed wrong, because the distance they were using, obviously speed equals distance over time for anyone who's doing like year 7 physics. They were using the wrong distance. They were using a longer distance than it would have been, which means that the speed it was registering was effectively too fast. And that means that Gasly was never going more than 60 kilometers an hour, especially the second time he was going along the pit lane, because he literally
they've shared the onboard,
off.
Haven't they? And he basically sits at like somewhere between 58 and about 50 kph all the way down pit lane.
Because they told him to be cautious on the way in and out, so he was hyper cautious and still got a penalty. And that is obviously the new evidence they've presented. I think Gasly might get his podium back, to be honest. But I don't know if that's gonna, because everyone else served their penalties, right? I don't think anyone else got the time added on.
A couple of them did, I think, still, didn't they? Oh no, Hadjar, didn't end up getting a penalty, even though we thought he would, didn't we? Yeah,
so I think it was only Gasly. Obviously, Russell, Hamilton served theirs. Like, Perez had it for different things, so that was unrelated.
Yeah. Ocon had a couple?
No, he didn't. He didn't get any. There was no 5-second penalty for Ocon meme this time round, unfortunately.
I thought, Ocon got a penalty for something, though, didn't he, I thought? Because he did finish in the points, but didn't score.
No, he did score. He was 9th.
Oh, I thought for some reason he didn't get
Hulkenberg got a 10-second penalty.
Oh, Hulkenberg got a 10-second penalty, didn't he? Yes. Ignore me.
For George Russell being a mug.
Yep. Apparently.
That was frustrating, but there we go. So yeah, I think they're going to give it to Gasly, to be honest, because all you can prove is that Gasly was not speeding.
He never went to 60 kilometers an hour.
Exactly. Now, it is a big problem, or a big shame, for the other drivers who serve their penalties, because obviously they're not going to put George Russell back into P4, are they? Because he didn't finish anywhere near. What they can
P3?
do, like I remember when I used to steward league racing, if someone tried to appeal a penalty which they served during the race, you just literally can't do anything because it's gone. The time has been added. You've then got track position issues. You can't take off time when they've served the time. But you can delete penalties that were applied post-race. So I think I think Gasly might get his podium back, to be honest.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Like I said, I reckon... Because he got 2 penalties, didn't he?
Yeah.
I reckon there's evidence to potentially help him get rid of one of them. Like we said, the fact that they've shared the onboard and he never even got to 60 kilometers an hour. I mean, the big thing is here, of course, F1 obviously made a huge oversight with this, didn't they, this weekend? Because it was basically the end of the pit lane. Because Cadillac now on the grid, they made the pit lane slightly longer, but they didn't change where the timing loops were to obviously measure the, as we said, distance over time equals speed. So the second one, I think they've probably got a very good argument for. If he loses just one of the 5-second penalties, does he still finishes then behind Hadjar, doesn't he? I'm pretty certain he still then finishes 5th.
Let me look it up.
I'm pretty certain he still then finishes 5th. So I reckon if they can do that and effectively it doesn't actually change the result.
No, he's behind Piastri as well.
Yeah, he would be behind. I reckon they might get rid of one of them. But the problem is, like we said, you can't really get rid of it all very easily because then you suddenly draw questions of how come some drivers get screwed over and others don't, and all this, that, and the other. It just becomes a huge mess.
Well, the question of how come some drivers get screwed over and some don't is luck. And luck plays a massive part in this sport.
This is Formula 1. Like, luck with the stewards shouldn't be a thing.
Why did Max Verstappen win his first World Championship?
Yeah, exactly. Luck with the stewards shouldn't be a thing. That's my whole point.
You know, why did James Hunt win a World Championship? Because of luck. Like,
yeah, but that was because Lauda crashed.
Well, it wasn't really
that's not the stewards didn't force him to go out and hit a wall at 120 miles an hour and catch fire. These are 2 terrible examples, Jamie.
I don't know. Yeah, clearly. it was poor from the stewards, obviously, and it feels like the sort of thing that like the intern in F1 for 3 months could have spotted. That if you made the pit lane longer, you should probably change how you measure the speed that you're going through the pit lane. Yeah, so it is a bad one. Yeah, I kind of think Gasly will get it back though.
I reckon he might get one of those 5-second penalties.
My
back
favourite thing from the whole thing is
the
new part of the new evidence that Alpine presented included a witness statement from Pierre Gasly, and how admissible is that? Because he literally is the driver, so
yeah. I mean,
he can just say,
I never went up. I never even got to 60 kilometers an hour. You then show his onboard. It says he never went 60 kilometers an hour.
Imagine a speed camera on the road started capturing everyone that was going the wrong speed, and then in court you were like, "Well, I didn't do it." I guess that would work. So why not?
If you've got like a GoPro or Meta glasses or something, or something like that, then I'm sure there'd be some kind of evidence towards it. I mean, a lot of cars now track like everything, don't they? Log it all. So you can actually see everything like that. No, your car, funnily enough, I can't imagine does that. Mine kind of does it, but not very well, as far as I gather.
So if you want to know where Matt is at all times, just hack into, is it BMW or Audi you have? I can't remember.
BMW, yeah.
And then find his location.
My car doesn't move. It'd be really boring. My car's moved once in the last 3 weeks. It's so
stays in his driveway. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. Anyway, Jamie, there's another thing we've got to talk about that kind of happened through Monaco, but it's been a bit of a talk over the course of the week. I've already talked about this in a couple of shorts that I've done as well. It's just hilarious. Aduo, Jamie, have you been keeping up with this? Has completely failed, and we knew it was going to. I'm pretty certain we'd said at the start of the season when they proposed it that it was going to get manipulated. And it's immediately become a farce. Yeah.
I like how they've decided that Mercedes aren't the strongest power unit.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Sorry, the strongest ICE.
ICE, sorry, yeah. Like, fair play to Mercedes for gaming the system this well. Because they're not going to change this, are they? They are nailed to this system.
So Red Bull have requested a right to review now. So there are a few things that could get tweaked.
Are there anything in F1 we're not going to write to review at the moment?
I don't think so.
Wow, yeah. So basically, they've decided that Red Bull are the best ICE, Red Bull powertrains, Ford, whatever you want to call them. Mercedes are a step down, so they get 2% upgrades, and the rest deserve 4% upgrades, basically.
Or Honda are way lower than that.
Yeah, true. It just doesn't feel right, because I don't know. That it doesn't feel right that Red Bull powertrains are the strongest ICE, and I know that I don't have the numbers, and I don't have any of the proof, but just based on what we see,
are you using a magical 5-letter word called vibes?
Yeah, based on the vibes of the sport. I mean, how can the Red Bull powertrain be strongest when it couldn't even start Max Verstappen in Monaco? Like, maybe it is the strongest for one lap in qualifying. Yeah. And that isn't a way to measure overall performance. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
we'll
this
see,
is the thing. When it got announced originally, because obviously the FIA knew they couldn't say, right, we're going to measure exactly this, this, and this, otherwise teams would manipulate it. They did, though, have to make it clear what they were measuring, and they went, it's going to be to do with the ICE. So, obviously, for certain teams, you can try and tweak around a couple of things with the ICE to maybe put more emphasis on the battery side of things, everything like that, to try and manipulate it, to not really lose out, but still gain an edge. But again, it was immediately then, it was, have Ferrari changed around their exhaust, so therefore the ICE doesn't work as well, and therefore they're getting the benefit of the blown diffuser, or obviously the modern version of the blown diffuser, but obviously not dealing with getting the extra power, but instead actually just getting more downforce from it, and everything like that. So again, you're not really losing out, but you're not technically gaining in the area you're in. Also, second of all, how bad is that Red Bull chassis and aero? if that is so unbelievable, if that is the best engine on the grid, how bad is the rest of the car?
Though it isn't necessarily the best engine by miles. So
no.
Yeah.
They're between 12 and 24 horsepower, though.
To be fair, though, since Miami, since the big April break that we had, Max Verstappen in the Red Bull has been there or thereabouts for podiums and wins. So it's not a disaster of a car anymore like it was in the first 3 races.
No.
So
even then, you say Australia, which obviously is probably still the most power-focused circuit we've been to, arguably overall pace was Red Bull's best. It was just the fact Hadjar had a failure immediately, and Max obviously started at the back. But he was still able to get back to Norris.
Yeah, he probably should have been ahead of Norris in that race.
He probably could have been in the fight with the Ferraris for a podium.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, Hadjar qualified ahead of him, didn't he? So
yeah,
if you think Hadjar's first race in Red Bull, Max probably would have beaten him in qualifying had the car not blown up in Q1. So yeah, I don't know. And obviously, Max could have easily won Monaco had the car got off the line.
Could have easily won Monaco is a brave statement, Jamie.
Well,
he could have definitely finished second.
Anthony's starts haven't been brilliant.
He got a good start at Monaco. He got 2 good starts at Monaco. Max didn't get 1.
He didn't get 1, because I wonder why that was.
Yeah, the fact you just said he could have easily won Monaco is laughable, though.
He might have won Monaco.
He would have had a shot at winning Monaco, I will agree with.
Exactly.
But it's largely irrelevant now.
It is, yes. But that's that. All that to say,
that's your hopium.
The Red Bull, I mean, it's obviously not going to win the World Championship, but Max has a pretty unlucky start to the season all round. And he's still, 5th? No, he's not 5th anymore.
No, he's not 5th.
he could have been 5th had the car worked.
Keep scrolling, Jamie. Keep scrolling.
He's 7th.
Yep. Who
wow,
predicted
he's
that
on
at the start of the season, sorry?
43 points, my word.
Yeah.
That's like a win and a second place. And that's all he's got all season.
Antonelli had his many points by the end of China. I have more than that, actually, because there was a sprint as well.
Because a sprint as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you did predict Verstappen 7th. Did you predict Norris, 5th or something as well?
I think I did. I've got the predictions here somewhere. Let me just have a look. You keep talking. Let me find them.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have put Lewis Hamilton second place, which he is currently. You probably put him first, knowing you.
Probably. I wish I had.
But
so, just for clarification, you put Verstappen 3rd, Norris 4th.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, I put Verstappen 5th, Norris 6th.
Norris is 6th at the moment. Fair play.
Yeah, there you go.
Norris has also had an extremely unlucky start to the season, all round. But
yeah, I suppose.
His car refuses to work.
You also put Piastri 2nd overall, by the way.
He's only 30 points off second place.
Fair enough.
That could happen.
Could happen. I like
He's beating Norris at the moment. Anyway, let's stop waffling. Yeah, Norris had, out of 6 races, 3 mechanical did not starts or DNFs.
Yeah, I suppose. Hasn't been
bad.
great for Lando.
No,
anyway, back
really
to
hasn't.
Aduo, though, Jamie.
Okay.
It's gone even worse than this, though, hasn't it? Because obviously you ended up in a scenario where the car that's won every race apparently is going to get more bonuses than the car that hasn't won a single one and barely scraped a podium with probably still the best driver on the grid,
Definitely,
which is just hilarious. Ferrari apparently are going to get 2 upgrades, which might bring them a bit closer to Mercedes, but we don't know for sure. Honda are so bad they've broken the chart. And it tells you everything you need to know when other Formula 1 teams have gone, yeah, actually, they probably need more help than we'd ever accounted for.
Do you remember the old the Top Gear cocometer?
Yes.
If Aston Martin drove past that, it would break.
Yep, he's broken the machine.
He has broken the machine. Anyway, and Alonso's going to leave as well, he says. Which is a change of tune from recently. He says that this is probably his last Barcelona Grand Prix.
Oh. Well, is that just because Barcelona's not going to be on the calendar next year and he knows?
Possibly. Did he say what did he say? He clarified Barcelona. He didn't say my last Spanish Grand Prix. Okay. So he might be racing by September still.
He'll be racing in Madrid next year.
Well, this year.
And next year.
I don't know. It remains to be seen. I think Alonso might call it quits. And we get Yuki Tsunoda back in the Honda.
I'm sure that'll be great over the radio, won't it? At least Lance might have a chance to out-qualify someone.
Possibly.
This will be now where Yuki goes 24-0 against Lance as well.
I mean, it must have been over a year since Lance Stroll out-qualified a teammate now, isn't it?
Didn't Fernando go 24-0 last year?
He did.
I guess Lance out-qualified him in the sprint in Canada, didn't he? Oh, no, he didn't in the end still, did he? Because even though Fernando binned it, he put himself in Q2. I've got Silverstone 24 in my head for a normal qualifying session. I think we are fast approaching 2 years since Lance last.
So there's an article here. There's an article here from the 5th of July 2025.
Yeah.
Which says Alonso has gone a year without being out-qualified by Stroll for a Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So it was the 5th of July 2024.
There you go.
Which would have been Silverstone. You are right. You're such an Alonso hater. You remember exactly when he last didn't out-qualify Stroll.
It's just because the stat comes up about every 3rd Grand Prix, doesn't it?
It's true.
So that's the only reason I remember it. I mean, the Silverstone 2024 British Grand Prix, though, Jamie, probably the greatest F1 race of the 21st, probably ever, I would argue.
I think 2025 was up there.
Probably 2024 British Grand Prix probably is the best race of all time, as voted by me right now.
2025 British Grand Prix was better. But.
Fair enough. I disagree. Charles Leclerc apparently is bidding off Brembo. Bidding off Brembo for Carbon Industries. Yeah,
Lewis Hamilton changed brake supplier to Carbon Industries around Suzuka last year. Wait, no, not Suzuka.
This year.
It was towards the end of last season. Hamilton changed.
Oh, I read that it was Japan this year.
No, it was last because he basically begged Fred Vasseur to change from Brembo.
Freddie V.
And they finally did it. And obviously Hamilton, did he have an upturn in form towards the end? I don't think he did.
No, he kept going out in Q1.
Yeah, in Abu Dhabi, that was funny. But yeah, this year obviously Leclerc has been very vocal about his brakes not working, not least in Monaco, where it threw into a barrier.
In Canada, yeah.
So he has now binned off Brembo as well, which I don't think has gone down very well with the Ferrari higher-ups because this is an extremely long-term partnership, which has gone back, 50, 60 years.
This is 50 years in the making, and it's not just Formula 1. Brembo basically exclusively supply all of Ferrari's brakes on every car they ever produce.
Yeah, and now neither of the Ferrari Formula 1 cars are using Brembo. It's like Matt choosing to bin me off this podcast.
Yeah, we need to talk about that after the show.
I haven't caused you to go into a wall in Monaco, though, so not yet.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I guess it's not major news in the grand scheme of things, isn't it? Brembo's stock price hasn't moved or anything like that particularly dramatically. But yeah, it is kind of wild, isn't it? Like we said, that 50... I think it was 1975, the Ferrari's first win with Brembo brakes, courtesy of Niki Lauda. And obviously, yeah, that is now... at least on the Formula 1 side of things, completely in the bin. I mean, the hilarious thing is with this is... Apparently, Brembo are still the official brake supplier of Ferrari F1, despite the fact they now are supplying no brakes, I guess?
Yeah. They're basically... I guess because they're they're a sponsor for the brakes, and that goes hand in hand with them using the brakes for the most part.
I mean, what does this boil down to, Jamie, at the end of the day? What have I said to you so many times before about Ferrari? Ferrari are good when the Italians aren't involved. They are steadily trying to weed out the Italians, and the brakes were just the next logical step.
I guess so. Yeah, and it might be that Charles Leclerc suddenly starts performing much better. I would be a bit surprised if it has that much of an effect, but we will see.
Yeah, but like they say, there's no brakes that are kind of way better than other brakes in Formula 1. It's kind of, brakes are kind of especially with the limitations on them, they're kind of quite finite. It's just kind of the feel, isn't it? Because Hamilton likes to have kind of a lot of control early on in the brake stage, and Leclerc, obviously because he's used to Brembos, I'm sure, generally is more used to kind of it being a bit later on in the braking stage as well. So it's just down to kind of personal preference and kind of how you like to drive the car. And it might well mean that this year Carbon Industries works better for Charles. Next year Brembo might be better for him again. You just don't really know until you kind of test it out. And effectively you have to sacrifice a few races, potentially.
Exactly.
Because obviously the car's constantly evolving.
It screams a little bit of Leclerc is scrambling because he's getting beaten by his teammate. I will say that.
Suddenly now you're kind of realising why Lewis is a 7-time champion. Which I know is only 2 good Grand Prix in a row. But Lewis seems happier. He seems happy with the team at long last. I want to believe that win is in there this year.
He's been the chosen one for so many years at Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, that suddenly it now feels Hamilton's turning the tide slightly towards himself. Leclerc's really scrambling.
And this is what Lewis does. Yeah. I mean, look at the first year at Mercedes. He basically spent that first year just trying to kind of figure things out, getting his feet under the table, and then second year, championship.
World Championship.
Exactly. Is this on, Jamie? Is this on this year? Hamilton 8-time champion.
In my head, it's only Kimi Antonelli. But then this time last year, I probably said it was only Oscar Piastri.
And this time 3 weeks ago, you're going, oh, well, Kimi's European leg of the campaign is terrible, so he's not going to win anyway.
We haven't had much of the European leg yet, so
no, one race.
It remains to be seen. He could drop last year's though, and I mean Lewis Hamilton might become world champion then, because George Russell looks lost at the moment.
George Russell is not a happy man right now, but he does need to chalk up a couple of victories, which I'm sure obviously we'll jump into predictions in just a minute. I mean, there's been a lot of kind of off-track talk, hasn't there, this episode? And we have got one more bit. Because they are now going to steadily shift the battery and the ICE percentage ratio. I don't think this is a bad call. I think this is fair, but it does come with a bit of nuance, doesn't it?
I think it's a great call, personally, because I know that like the first few races of this season were shocking for the amount of problems and stupid visuals you had from these engines. And they're moving from 50-50, which is what we have at the moment, to...
Even though it wasn't really actually 50-50, it was kind of a little bit biased towards the ICE anyway.
I guess so, but we've gone definitely to 53-47 for the remainder of this year. And then, obviously, with the battery changes they made for Miami 2, it could be that is even more... You basically remove super clipping from qualifying sessions. That's all I want from these rule changes.
That's the big one, isn't it? Yeah. Because Monaco was great because there was no super clipping. And it's Monaco qualifying.
Exactly. And then from 2027, they're going to 58-42.
Which is quite a big step.
That is a big step, 5%. And then 2028 is 60-40, which is where they aim to stay for the remainder of the rule change cycle.
Yeah, so, which could still well mean that they might be bringing new engines slightly earlier. Which would be very interesting. I mean, the thing is, isn't it? The original turbo hybrid regs, I think, looking back now, wasn't perfect. But after the first couple of years, wasn't the whole big thing with the first turbo hybrid regs, wasn't it? Was just the cost. There wasn't enough. There wasn't enough benefit to manufacturers to come into the sport because of the high cost, without it being kind of road relevant enough.
Well, the MGUH was never going to make its way onto the road.
No, exactly. Exactly. This has kind of been a disaster in the opposite regard of it's got a lot of road relevancy but doesn't really work for motorsport, and still obviously the cost is huge, but manufacturers can offset that because obviously, it can be relevant to their road cars. It just hasn't really worked for Formula 1, though, because ultimately you're always going to be energy starved because you are always going to be using more energy than you're saving up. I think the most alarming bit about this, though, Jamie, is there are now talks and worries that Formula 1 might actually have to reduce the number of laps by a couple for each Grand Prix.
I haven't seen that. Is that to do with the energy?
It's because obviously now all the teams have basically built their cars to have much smaller fuel tanks this year.
Oh, I guess.
And obviously
now
a lot of them
ICE.
don't want to change the chassis for the next couple of years because obviously that is a huge cost that they don't want to have to fork out because that was never part of the plan. So there are talks that they might have to reduce like most of the Grand Prix by 2 or 3 laps to try and actually make sure people aren't running out of fuel.
I guess that's not the end of the world.
I think actually, on the other hand, would potentially be more entertaining if you've really then got to try and start fuel saving in certain places. Because obviously it still means to get your full attack mode in qualifying, but races might become a bit more strategic. Or they'd be really boring and just everybody stays out and lives.
I don't think it would be good. Because do you remember when...
People would manipulate it.
In 2014, when it was a set amount of energy you could use for the race, wasn't it? And they used to keep this graphic on the screen of what percentage of energy you've got left.
Yeah.
I don't think that was good because it just meant drivers weren't pushing. And yeah, I know it wouldn't be as extreme as someone literally backing off because they've got no fuel left, like in Spain 2009 when Felipe Massa let everyone through.
He was 2 laps down on fuel.
Yeah, it wouldn't... Like, the drivers pushing less throughout a Grand Prix distance, I think is only a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you're always tyre limited anyway, aren't you? Pirelli, they've signed another extension, haven't they, to the end of 2020?
They haven't signed anything. They've actually just extended.
Well, they've agreed to their contract extension. Sorry,
exactly
is what I meant. There's a lot that's gone on off track this week.
It has. Spain is usually where the European season kicks off, so I guess a lot of the kind of random bits of news generally coincide with the Barcelona Grand Prix.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure this for you as well, Jamie. Now we haven't talked about this outside of the show or anything, but I'm going to say one thing to you, and I hope you find this relatable.
Okay.
Monaco being round 6 of the season fits well in my brain. When they said round 6 Monaco, it just is right.
Yeah, but then that's probably the only thing in the calendar apart from Australia. I guess Australia, China, Bahrain. Bahrain should be round 4. Spain should be round 5. I feel like Canada should be at about round 9.
Canada should always be round 7. We'd always go Spain, Monaco, Canada. Yeah.
But the changes to the calendar, yeah, I guess it would put Monaco in the right place.
When they said round 6 of the season, Monaco Grand Prix, I was like, that just works.
In my head,
Monaco belongs
round
here.
8 should be Baku, but
interesting. Okay.
But yeah, that's mostly because of 2016.
Fair enough.
Which is the F1 game I probably played the most.
Probably.
So, and it was round 8 that year. There you go.
Shall we move to Barcelona, Jamie? Well, we're not actually going to move to Barcelona.
I'm not moving there.
We're not going to buy it. Actually, I would. Spain. Actually, would I move to Spain?
No, I wouldn't.
Wouldn't be the first place I'd go. I don't know. Let's talk Barcelona then. Obviously, it's a track where we do a lot of testing. It's quite a high downforce. It's a very high downforce track in the grand scheme of things. So we would expect a lot of the cars that worked well at Monte Carlo. Not as bad as it was a few years ago. Now we got rid of the final chicane. But it's high energy. It really burns up the tyres as well. Do you want your quiz? Do you want to do your predictions? What are we thinking?
Let's go quiz first.
Let's go.
That might inspire me to predict something.
Okay, it might well do actually. Of course, it's 10 years ago, Jamie. Well, Kimi Antonelli, for the first time in quite a while, can't become the youngest winner of a Grand Prix. Of course, Max Verstappen.
Surely ever. Oh no, since Spain last year.
Hey?
Wait, no, last year he would have been the youngest Grand Prix winner at Spain if he won.
No, he wouldn't. He was about 2 weeks older than Max, I believe.
So yeah, for the second time in history, Kimi Antonelli can't set the record.
Yes, for the youngest winner of a Grand Prix. Obviously, Max Verstappen won that race 10 years ago. Debut for Red Bull. There are 9 other drivers that day, Jamie. Scored points. You've got to try and name them for me. If you get one wrong, it's over.
Because I watched his highlights yesterday.
No!
Let's see if I can remember them. Okay, well, Max Verstappen
how
won.
brain rot is Jamie's brain?
Exactly. I watched.
There's only 9 answers. Max Verstappen doesn't count.
Okay, so second place, Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah.
Fun fact, he was second in the championship after that race in 2016.
That's really annoying, because I said to you pre-show I had a fun fact for you. That was going to be my fun fact.
That is a fun fact that's just in my brain for some reason. So, Räikkönen was second. Vettel was third. Now, I don't remember if Ricciardo got Bottas at the end or not, but they both finished fourth and fifth. I think it was Ricciardo, then Bottas.
It was.
Then it was Carlos Sainz.
It was.
In Toro Rosso, who was running third briefly at the start. So what's that, 6? They got 4 left. They didn't have a timing tower on this video, so there wasn't much of the lower top 10, to be honest. I will say Sergio Perez.
Sergio Perez, yes.
I think Danny Kvyat came 9th with the fastest lap.
He came 10th.
Ah, well, that counts. Therefore, he was chasing Jenson Button.
Correct.
Nice.
One more.
In the McLaren. This could be wrong, but it feels like it was Felipe Massa.
It was Felipe Massa. Well done, sir.
Nice.
10 years ago, Grand
that.
Prix. Jamie can list you the top 10 finishes.
I wouldn't have got that, obviously, had I not watched the extended highlights on Formula 1 YouTube channel.
That's a bit of a shame.
Less than 24 hours ago.
That was like when you gave me a quiz on Jaguar and I literally just watched the Mobile Chicanes Jaguar documentary.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant.
Happens. I was just doing some research for the podcast, so...
Clearly. Obviously, that brings us into Barcelona this weekend, though, Jamie. What are the scores on the doors right now? You're getting rinsed this season.
I am getting demolished. It is 25.
Did you find out our previous scores from previous years?
No.
Have we got them pinned still?
Yeah. Oh, I just got my coffee. I know, my mug was empty. I just knocked the mug over. It's fine.
Okay. I don't think we've got our previous year's scores, annoyingly. Unless you've got them still somewhere. Because I know you won the first year, didn't you? And then I'm pretty certain I won, 3 in a row, and then you won... Did you win last year?
I won last year, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain I won 3 in a row, then you won last year. So you're trying to tie this back up. I know we don't do any tweets anymore because no one uses Twitter, but I have already thought your forfeit. Ready for the end of the year.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm not going to tell you now. You have to wait till the end of the year.
Well, that will determine how much I try.
In case you lose. No, it's not bad.
Okay. Is it film another year of the podcast?
Yeah, I have to renew you for another year.
Yeah, that's your forfeit, Matt.
Yeah.
Right. I am going to go first because I'm losing.
What are the
25 to 14.
Oh, so you can't even jump me this weekend.
No, I really can't. I am going to back Kimi Antonelli.
Okay.
To get the pole position and the race win because he's won 5 in a row.
Okay.
So I'm having that one. And it is a proper car track, this, isn't it? I will say George Russell to get second.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for Verstappen because the car might actually start.
Yeah,
so.
Interesting. Fair enough. I was looking at this pre-show. It's such a car track, isn't it? It's one Mercedes have famously gone quite well around as well, although that was with the old chicane, so you never know, might be a little bit more interesting. I was also trying to think about cars that are maybe a bit better on their tyres, because I still feel like the McLaren is a better car on its tyres than a lot of the other ones this season. But
Lando Norris might win.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to make enough of a difference. I am going to say, Jamie, because you've gone Kimi, I'm going to say Russell pole, Russell win.
This will be when it actually happens and you just get 4 more points than me again.
Hopefully.
So,
I'm going to say Antonelli P2. I'm going to say Lewis Hamilton third. Another podium.
There you go. It's not even a surprise anymore. He's actually just driving really well, to be fair to him.
Jamie, he is absolutely cooking right now. He's had more Ferrari-powered podiums in the last... He's actually got the second most podiums of the year, which is insane.
Yeah, that is a bit mad. Yeah, obviously second in the championship. So
yep. He's now Kimi Antonelli's biggest threat. That's who Kimi's got to be worried about. At least in these predictions, in my predictions anyway, until the end of the weekend. I guess and in yours actually. He's going to be back down to third in the world title. But we'll wait and see.
Exactly. Also, by the time this podcast goes out, they'll have come to a decision on Pierre Gasly. So
when is that meant to be done by?
It was supposedly Friday morning, which is now, but it's not happened yet.
Okay, we'll be keeping an eye on that. I'm sure we'll have done all this talk and they'll have actually disqualified Pierre Gasly and banned him from F1 or something because we've done the episode in advance. Is the likely outcome there? Have we got anything else to add, Jamie?
No, I think that's everything.
For a podcast that we've labelled Spanish Grand Prix Preview, we really haven't talked much about Spain, but
no,
or Barcelona, we should say anyway.
It's going to be a race. It
is going to be one of the F1 races of all time, as Barcelona usually is.
Exactly.
Thank you all, though, as always, so much for listening. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like, drop a follow, all that good stuff. And Jamie and I'll be back. When are we recording next week, sir?
Tuesday.
Because you're away. Tuesday AM.
Yes.
Wonderful. I'll be there. Hopefully you guys will be there as well. And yeah, we'll be back very soon with more Knowing Wheel.